Good morning. In this week's parasha Acharei-Mot, we read about the Yom Kippur service, but we also have a section in the parasha speaking about the problem of offering sacrifices outside of the temple, or in any way killing an animal that's supposed to be sacrificed without following the proper order and place of doing it in the Beit HaMikdash in the temple. So this would apply whether a person would want to make a private altar and a private offering, or whether a person would decide to just kill the animal and eat it for food, right? Even though the eating would certainly be forbidden. The Torah says even the killing of this animal is a serious problem. The Torah uses such strong language, in fact. This is in Perek Yud Zayin, Pasuk Gimel and Daled, chapter 17, 3 and 4. Ish mi Beit Yisrael, asher yishchat shoro, kesef or eiz, every person from amongst the Jewish people who will shecht a bull or a sheep or a goat, b'machaneh, or asher yishchat michutz lemachaneh, whether it's in the camp or outside of the camp, right? Whether you do it in the city or out in a rural area. Ve'al petach ol moed lo hevi'o lehakriv korban el Hashem, but he did not bring his offering, did not bring this animal sacrifice to be brought as a korban to God, lifnei mishkan Hashem, before the tabernacle of Hashem. Dam yechashev leishahu dam shafach. That will be considered blood for this man, spilt blood. Now that's very strong words to use. It'll be considered spilt blood. When we think of spilling of blood, we think about murder. And that is indeed what the Torah wants us to be thinking of. This idea of killing a sacrifice outside of Yerushalayim, outside of the temple, is considered like murder. Now that sounds very strong and very strange. The Maggid of Dubno explains it with a story that he says, if you have, God forbid, an outbreak of a serious illness, and let's say you have a town of 100 people, and all of them come down with this deadly, life-threatening disease, but there is a cure, and they are able to access medical supplies. Medical supplies are sent through with exactly 100 doses of the life-saving medication. And then he says somebody is careless and he breaks one of those vials. Is that just carelessness and an accident? No. He's killed somebody. There's somebody whose life was depending on that medication that they're now not going to survive. If you've got an endless supply of medication and, it's not such a serious thing and whatever else, you say, okay, so we broke it, we'll get another one. But if the exact amount of medication is what's needed to heal this person, then by breaking the medication, you've created a very, very serious problem. And he says that's the idea over here. He says this sacrifice, this korban, is the atonement for a person's soul. Person's done something wrong. Through bringing the korban, his soul is healed. His soul is restored to life before Hashem. And so he says, by destroying the korban, by wasting it, by not bringing it as a sacrifice to Hashem in the right way, he has destroyed this salvation of his soul. But that's what I was thinking when I was looking through this. I said, okay, well and good, but the truth is the analogy is not exact. Because whereas with the medicine you've said there's only a certain amount of medicine and it has to be now and everything, if this animal doesn't work out, so bring another animal. What's the big problem that this one is irreplaceable? And I was thinking, somebody came up to me last week and they said, Rabbi, I've got a drosha for you. You have to use it sometime. And they said it was about the 2020 cricket, when West Indies had played against New Zealand and they'd lost on the Duckworth-Lewis. See, what happens is New Zealand had set a certain target. They'd scored a certain number of runs, and West Indies had been working away at it, but then rain stopped play. And so what you do is you say, well, based on how they've done up till now, we project that by the end of the match, they would reach this amount. And that amount was not as much as the target, and therefore they've lost the game. She said to me, but the week before, West Indies had made up the whole thing in the last few overs. In the last few overs, they'd scored much, much more than they had previously. And maybe that would have been the same this game. Maybe they were counting on pacing themselves at the beginning and making it all up at the end. But she says, they weren't given the opportunity. That's the drosha, Rabbi. You have to use it. I'm using it. I think it's a good idea. The point being that we tend to think that time is an inexhaustible resource. Or if not inexhaustible, very large, large enough. There will be, we know there's not going to be forever, but we are confident that there will be enough time. There'll be enough time to do what I want to do. There'll be enough time to sort out, to resolve, to tie up all the loose ends, to sort everything out. You know what? This korban didn't work out. There'll be enough time to do a korban that will work out. Problem is, it might not be. And I think that's the idea over here. We do not say, well, it was a missed opportunity, we'll just make it up, next time. Don't worry about missing the opportunity, we'll make it up next time. No, we don't say that. This missed opportunity is the missed opportunity. A person had a chance to bring atonement for his soul for what he'd done wrong, to fix up all of his misdeeds through bringing this korban, and he missed that opportunity. He didn't do it. That's what we're saying in terms of the spiritual murder, right? Who's he murdered? He's murdered himself. If the few moments in life that we long for are the moments of purity of soul before God, and he's destroyed that opportunity. Oh, so there's another opportunity tomorrow, so he'll try again tomorrow. Okay, good. So we'll try then. Maybe it'll work, maybe it won't. But what about now? It's a famous question and answer. I think it's the Radvaz, that somebody once wrote to him from prison. That he said, Rabbi, I'm in prison, and there's all kinds of, this was in the Middle Ages, there's all kinds of restraints and curtailments upon, what I'm allowed to do, what I'm not allowed to do, matzah for Pesach, whatever, all kinds of difficulties. But they've told me they're giving me one day free. Is one day I'm going to be able to leave. I think it was part of an anti-Semitic decree that he was in prison. But they're going to give me one full day to be able to leave. What day should I choose? Should it be Yom Kippur? Should it be first night Pesach? What is the most important day? And the rabbi said, tomorrow. First available day. And I thought about why not today, because today maybe is only a half a day or whatever. But the first available day, that's the day. That's the important time. When must I offer the sacrifice? Now. I messed up with this one. To offer the next one? Yes, offer the next one. The fact that you've missed this opportunity, we should not be daunted for continuing into the future. However, that doesn't mean that opportunities are simply replaceable, that will simply make it up. No. For today, this person's murdered his soul. Tomorrow maybe he'll work it out. Tomorrow maybe he'll save it. But don't rely on that. Don't count on it. And that is the importance and the significance of this idea of wasting the sacrifice, of missing the opportunity of wasting it. It's not just a simple replaceable thing. But this is something, every moment you have the opportunity to stand in purity before God, to do something real, to do something good. The Kotzker Rebbe said, the real Aveira is not the Aveira. The real misdeed is not what you've done wrong. The real problem is that in every moment since then, you've had the opportunity to do teshuvah, and you haven't. That's the real problem. So my friends, don't wait. If there's something that needs to be fixed up, fix it up. If there's an opportunity there for the taking, take it. Have a wonderful day.